All right. Wo Long. Let's talk about it before we then get to shout outs and the like and Q&A. Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. Looks great. Looks like a much better graphical version of Nioh, but it plays like Sekiro. The game is mostly focused on blocking and parrying, although dodging is an important part of it. It's got an interesting combo system where basically what you have to do is hit enemies with a lot of light attacks. Once you hit them a certain amount of time, now your heavy attack charges up. When you hit them with the heavy attack that's charged, now they stagger. And that's the point. You're trying to fill a stagger meter, so they'll stagger, and then you can hit them with the attack that it's like the death blow or the finisher that does a giant chunk of health to them. It is similar to Sekiro in a lot of ways. A little different. There's a few other things, like there's elemental stuff in the game that you can level up, and it'll either, this element's good against this element. Then there's magic in the game, and the magic's interesting too because you could have projectiles, you could have buffs, you could have debuffs to the enemies. That's cool. So essentially what it feels like is they combined Sekiro with, say, Nioh. That's really what it feels like. Sekiro and Nioh together. Does it work? Yes and no. Is it a playable game? Yes. Is it functional? Yes. Will it overall be fun for those seeking this kind of an experience? Yes. But I've played 4.5 hours of the game. And man, the one thing that I feel, this is really the overall feeling that I get when I play this game is I wish this was made by FromSoft, because the lack of polish, the feeling of overall like judderiness, wonkiness to the combat engine, the weird clipping, some weird physics things. You know what I'm saying? Like FromSoft, when they make a game, and I'm not saying that they're without issues. No one's perfect. But when you're playing a FromSoft experience, for the most part, you can argue that this feels like a game that they put so much time, effort, and they curated each major dungeon, and they made everything so so hand designed, hand touched. The combat in those games even though there's delay to the inputs, which I don't like, it feels masterfully done, right? Sekiro, here's the thing, I don't really like Sekiro that much. It's actually one of my least liked FromSoft games. But I can recognize when I play Sekiro how well designed the combat engine is. It may be a one-trick pony, but it's a very, very tightly developed one-trick pony. And if you like it, you're going to love that game. You see, you master the parrying. Oh my God, Sekiro is like a master game where you could just dominate everything. It's fun as hell. At this point, here's my problem with Wo Long. When Nioh came out, there weren't that many games that were competing with FromSoft. FromSoft was very much still in their own lane as this is our specialty, it's our baby, it's our thing. We're known for the hyper difficult games, the unforgiving, crushing enemies and challenges and difficulty. Like, that was their thing. Correct? Everyone can agree. Now, here's the thing. Since then, we've had Nioh 1, Nioh 2, Lords of the Fallen. We've had just in the last year, what's the one with the guns that plays like Dark Souls? Then last year we had the one, with the robots. I can't remember the name of that one. It was a bunch of cyborg robots that was like Dark Souls. Every year now, we get at least at a minimum 4 FromSoft knockoff games. Now, I'm not saying that they're bad games. What I'm saying is, you went from a market that was very much a niche market to a market that's now, I feel, become oversaturated. Okay? That's why every year when people say, are you going to play this next game that plays like From Software, this next one, I say, no. If you would like to see me play a game like that, I will play a From Software game. Do you want me to go back and do a second or third run of one of theirs? Do you want to see me do my New Game Plus run of Elden Ring? I'll do that. But I don't feel like I should go and play these knockoff games. And it's funny because you got someone like Ruffian Forever who just says, you didn't even play those games. You don't know anything about them, except that I watch people play them. Oops. Yeah, I do my research. And like last summer, there was 3 knockoff Dark Souls games. One of them had something to do with, I can't remember the name of it, but it was something to do with, like, you look like a doctor, like one of the plague doctors, right? I can't remember what it was called. Dimesia? Whoa, that game was terrible. That game, it starts off strong, and within an hour, it's insanely repetitive, boring as shit. Everything looks the same. Then you get to the second world, it's cool for 10 minutes, then everything's the same. Repetitive shit. It's boring as dirt. Okay? What was the other one with the robots? Dude, the combat of that game is terrible. I was watching someone play, I was like, dude, that is such a horrible knockoff of what From Software has done, and it fails. It's not entertaining. It's the same repetitive shit over and over and over. That really is the problem with these knockoff games. They're very repetitive. While when you play a FromSoft game, you're constantly being faced with something original, a different challenge, a different location, cool world design. These other games, you can tell they don't have the budget, the means, the development, the number of developers, the length of time, the skill. They don't have the means to make a game as good as a FromSoft game. And it just ends up feeling like a pale clone or an attempt to... Mortal Shell, that was the one with the robots. Thank you. Definitely, they don't feel that good. You know what I'm saying? So, I've seen these. And I'm not sitting here crapping on it and saying, don't play them. I'm saying, if I don't want to play them, I'm going to skip them. They don't look that good. Okay? But in regards to Wolong, I feel like we're years later. How many years removed are we from Nioh, right? We're talking like 7 years, right? From Nioh 1. So there's been so many of these games now that even though this is the same developer of Nioh, and Nioh felt like something special that was a standout 7 years ago, now there's been so many of these games. Okay, it's not Mortal Shell. I got them confused. All right. No, I didn't play Mortal Shell. I didn't see Mortal Shell. I saw the one that was the androids fighting each other. I can't remember which one that was. Anyway, neither here nor there. The point is, there's just too many of them. And when there's too many of them, and they all feel the samey, and if it's not as good as the FromSoft game, it stands out. That's what's happening when I play Wolong. I'm like, man, here we go. Rush into the fray, and I'm fighting and fighting and fighting. Parrying. Wait a minute. All of a sudden, I can't tell what's going on. There's a cluster of enemies, plus AI assistants are coming in and fighting, and there's giant fucking animations on the screen, and now the frame rate's dipping, and I can't tell what the fuck's going on. Instant death. Oh. Okay. I guess I'll try that again. And I run in, and I'm fighting. Okay. So now I kind of know the animation's a little better. And I'm parrying, and I'm parrying. Oh, you slipped off the cliff. What? Why? Oh, well, that's okay, because there's a grappling hook in this game. Oh, shit, it's not Sekiro. So because it's not Sekiro, you now expect me to go from all the way down this thing that I just plummeted and climb all the way back up and waste another 5 to 10 minutes of my time. What? No. And it just becomes frustrating. Because like, man, when I'm playing this game, like, I just want to play Sekiro again. It's what it feels like. I played 4.5 hours, and I'm like, I just want to play Sekiro a second time. Rather than this, because it feels like that's what they were going for, and it's not as good. That third boss last night, that was one of the worst bosses, man. So, this game does not have a proper tutorial, unless you, apparently from what I'm to understand, it's in a menu. The game doesn't teach you how to play it. It expects you to go into a menu and go through a tutorial mode. It doesn't even teach you the basics. My stream taught me the basics, because after playing for 20 minutes, the game has you face a boss where you need to understand all the nuances of the combat engine to beat the first boss. It's not even like, oh, here's how you learn it. It's just fucking know it all. Really. Just know everything on the first boss, 20 minutes into the game. That's terrible game design in 2023. Maybe that flew 7 years ago. It doesn't fly anymore. Now people want the game to teach them how to play it. They don't want to do fucking hours of research. There's no excuse for it. Just like people are now putting up a big stink about Elden Ring not having a pause, right? Everyone always protected the FromSoft game and said the reason FromSoft doesn't have pause is because of the invasion aspect. If you're going to have constant messages on the ground from online players, if you're going to have invasions, if you're going to have this, you need to have it always be online. You can't pause. People had enough of that shit. They're like, no, it should pause anyway. We don't care. Enough is enough. It's 2023. Pause the fucking game. It's like, here I am. I'm playing Elden Ring. All right? And I'm going to fight a dragon. But as I start to fight the dragon, someone's knocking at my door screaming bloody murder. Oh, by the way, I got to take a shit. So here I am. I'm fighting a giant fucking dragon. I'm turtling in my pants because I got a shit so bad, and someone is knocking at my door as if something is life and death situation, but I can't pause the fucking game. So I got shit stains in my pants. The fire department kicks in the door to tell me there's a zombie invasion, and then the zombies come and eat me on my couch because I couldn't pause my fucking game, and I'm covered in shit. Just put a fucking pause button in the game, right? That's what people are saying. You know, they're freaking out about it. I think it's... Oh, by the way, I didn't even get to kill the dragon. I died. You see? But anyway, this is the point I'm making is, it seems like these outdated mechanics are now being demanded that things get improved. Correct? So I'm sorry. In 2023, you have to teach me how to play your game. And Wolong doesn't do that. Wolong's like, oh, well, figure it out. Or, oh, did you go to the menu within the menu to find the secret tutorial that we hid behind 5 menus? No, because I don't care. I want to play your fucking game, stupid. I don't want to fucking waste my time going through your menu shit. So it's bad in that regard. Once the stream chat told me how to play it, I actually started enjoying it because I kind of understood it. I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm getting some of the game mechanics is making more sense to me. But to me, again, is there anything in this game that stands out that's bad? Maybe the bosses aren't equal. For example, the first boss is actually really good, but tough because you don't know how to play it. I would say the bosses in the second world are perfectly fine. And then the end boss of the third stage is awful. This boss is like, okay, he's a mage. What does he do? He fucking just throws spells constantly. So you run and you beat the shit out of him, but he teleports away, which is super annoying, right? He literally has unlimited magic, never has a cooldown or anything. So you can just do it, spam it if he wants. It's really fucking annoying. There's a second phase where now he kind of has super armor, but then he has 3 secret mages hiding on the sides of the screen that you need to find and kill to get rid of his buff. It's just stupid. It's not a fun fight at all. It's very, very boring, repetitive, grindy, and a waste of time. It doesn't teach you anything about the game. It's not, you don't feel accomplished when you beat it. It's just annoying. As opposed to some of the other bosses are fun. Because, oh, I fought the boss. I learned the pattern. I learned how to parry the attacks. I mastered this boss. I kicked its ass. It was fun. This boss is like, I hate this shit. It's boring. You know?